And take a deep breath, right? Fill up your belly, ribs, and chest. Expand into your inhalation. And exhale, contracting muscles in, and the breath moves out very completely. Let's do that a few times, right? Inhaling. And exhaling. Relax your arms and continue the breath. And a sigh feels really good too, right? Notice how the shoulders melt, tension. Just may we let our tension melt this evening. That said, you know, I was using my hands earlier. Please bring your hands together and give a little rub. I've heard a lot of my students lately saying they're getting Zoom burnout from meetings and school and such. So I want to use our Zoom for Zen. So still rubbing your palm. Now take your hands in right over your eyes. I know you can't see me, that's okay. And take a few deep breaths here. Notice as your hands cover your eyes, you feel the warmth of the palms. Your shoulders are softening, right? Shoulders slipping down away from your earlobes. All right, now we can move our hands away from the eyes. Bring your hands to your heart. Lay your hands over your heart. Relax your shoulders. And breathe again deeply, please. Right? Inhale. Exhale. Notice how the inhale fills completely. And as we exhale, shoulders are softening, right? Softening any hard edges. One more deep breath. And now let your arms fall to your sides, right, to the ground, like waterfalls teeming off the sides of your body. And as you root down and let your hands and fingers ground down, sit up a little taller. And then if you lit your candle, then as you watch the lit candle, start to move with a little bit of a flicker to your body, right? Flickering like the candlelight. You can let your hands come to your legs resting and start to turn that, maybe a little shoulder flicker. A little flicker through your ribs, noticing where we might be accumulating that cobweb kind of feeling. And now going with this movement to start to slowly roll, right? Roll the trunk of the body, roll one direction. And let's roll smoothly. And really allow your spine to have a nice stretch as you take that rounding action. And let's change direction. Let the circle be as big as you need it to be. Notice we open across the chest and shoulders. Maybe we lean back a little bit to discover our extension through the spine. And back to center. Now let's stretch our legs forward. Hands come back behind us. Let's pump our chest upward. Lean your head back gently. No need to force it. Just notice again, where do you perhaps feel a little tangled along the neck and jaw? Over the next 3 deep breaths, allow that tangling feeling to detangle. to breathe deeply. And now we'll sit up a little taller. And you don't have to go for the feet. Just fold from your hips. Shins are fine. Floor is fine as you fold forward, right? And then come back again. Hands to ground, right? Stretching through arms, steady palms. Our chest bursts upward. It's like there's a little arc behind the heart, right? The back door of the heart is laying back over the rainbow, right? As if. Now let's sit up tall and gently fold forward. Maybe the stretch feels a little deeper, a little further this time. It doesn't have to be. Please do what feels good. And one more time, reaching back, planting your hands to have that chest expanding stretch, right? And just put this in your little yoga toolkit because we're going to use this again later. Now, right leg straight in front of you, draw your left leg into an angle and move around through your seat, right? You're going to shift through your pelvis to steady and establish your base. And then let's, again, fold forward. Janu Shirshasana. It's called head to knee pose. But please know you don't have to touch your head to your knee. It's all good. Do what feels right. Honor your body. One more deep breath. And then we shall rise. Straighten legs out in front of us, hands come back. Chest expanding stretch, creating that arc behind the heart. Allowing the neck and throat to stretch gently. And then as we sit up again, we'll draw our right leg into the angle and our left leg is forward for Janu Shirshasana, the head to knee pose. May you feel steady with ease in your pose in this moment. And we'll sit up nice and tall again, looking to, your device for the next direction. Your feet come together, footprints. They're sealing into one another, connecting. Again, I move around through my base to be more comfortable in the seat. Legs are butterflied or angled. Sit up nice and tall. Arms can rest. You could take your shin bones or your ankles. Some like to grip the feet. Find a place that feels comfortable, right, where we can breathe and decompress in our bound angle pose. Right, and if folding forward and downward doesn't feel good, that's okay. This is great. This is great too. Or maybe you try on a couple times, right? What variation of bound angle works best in your body? That's really what's most important when practicing yoga. To embody the poses, to feel. Now we look forward. And let's come on to hands and knees, right? We're going to continue to stay low to the ground, but hands and knees pose, right? Our tabletop position, right? Notice if the belly is dripping down, let's zip it up and level and balance. And exhale, we're going to use the rainbow again. Rainbowing the spine, arcing into cat. Inhale into cow. Right, exhaling. Inhaling. Take your time. Move slowly. Engage your breath fully. All right, now let's meet in cow pose, right? Looking forward. The belly dips, but it still feels strong, right? You're still core engaged. Turn your toes under. And downward facing dog pose, right? Adho Mukha Svanasana. Please feel free to bend your knees to allow the length to transpire through your spinal body. That's where you want to be the longest and the tallest, is through the spine and arms. Allowing your knees to bend to accommodate the lengthening of your spine. One more deep breath in your downward dog, please. And then knees touch down to the ground. And we'll come into child's pose. So your arms stretch forward, your tail reaches back, and your heart launches forward. Rest on the center of your forehead. Let's be in Balasana for 3 deeply filling breaths. Right, filling belly, ribs, chest. 360-degree breaths. Right, they expand and contract. And you can feel that, right? Embodying the breath work. Beautiful. Now, please come up from your, rise up from your child's pose. And you can have a seat again. Just come into butterflies. By giving us a chance to move. Butterfly bound angle. How to, what name helps you remember what you're doing, right? And now both legs forward. Hands come back. We're using this again, that stability through hands and arms. Now I'll ask you to bend your legs, please. And up facing table. So let me give you the side view here so you can really see what's happening. Right. Position your head comfortably, allowing the neck and throat to stretch gently as you create that level tabling effect in your body. And bring your bottom back down to the ground. And legs forward again. Give your legs a stretch. And as if taking a bow into your forward fold for 3 deep breaths. Right? Honor your body and really fulfill your inhalation and empty out your exhalation. Let it drain fully. All right, looking forward again to the screen for the next cue. Let's come on to all fours again. We're gonna do the cats and cows, right? The rainbowing action. Exhaling cat. Inhaling cow. Smoothly moving through each link in the spinal chain. And let's take one more, downward facing dog. Breathe deep, my friends, breathe deep. And let's do our child's pose again, right? Balasana. All right, let's be hands and knees in our quadruped position again, right? That sideways action. To shift to the right hand, shift to the right knee, and extend your left leg, right? Left hand to sky, right? We're taking a variation of a side plank pose. But you can really keep your left foot grounded to help you stay steady with ease. But if you want a little bit more, you could lift the leg up, right? And now let's bring our foot back down to ground if it lifted. Hand back down, all fours position, right? Tabletop again. As we shift smoothly to the left hand and left lower leg, right foot steps back to the edge of the mat. Taking our side plank pose variation. Do you want to lift the leg? You don't have to. Do what feels good. All right, we bring our right foot to the ground, right hand down. Another round of cat-cow, please. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Cow pose, we meet and greet one more time. Downward facing dog. Slowly knees to ground, child's pose, right? Taking that bow forward, stretching through spine and arms. But just remember not to overstretch it, right? Let's be here in this child's pose for 5 deep breaths. May they be deeply filling and actively emptying. Notice when you exhale out very fully, the melting that happens in your muscles, right? Melting into the stretch instead of straining for it. There's a huge difference there, right? May we find the melt, the stretch, and not the strain. And in this moment, right here, right now, may you surrender your body into your pose. Letting it fill letting your breath fill up the shape that you're making completely. All right. Beautiful. Now, may we have a seat again, right? Sitting down. Legs forward. And we've been using, I'm turning sideways so you can see it even better. We've been using this, right? This hand stability, arm stretch and strength to puff up the chest to create that arc as if we were lounging back over a rainbow. So we're creating chest expansion. We're getting the gentle stretch through the neck and throat that help us create fish pose. It's one of my favorites, honestly. Coming down onto your elbows. Notice if you had a heart cave in. Let's pump the heart upward as you push back through your elbows and allow your head and neck to stretch gently. Right? Honor your body. Breathe deeply. Two more deep breaths, please. Right on. So you can push yourself back up to seated, right? To forward fold, right? Another visit to seated forward bend. Paschimottanasana. That's a mouthful, isn't it? A beautiful mouthful, though. Now look forward, my friends, and let's go fishing one more time, right? Laying our elbows down, lifting the heart as we ground down through elbows and arms. Letting the breath fill up 360 degrees of your belly, ribs, and chest. And push, give yourself a little push up to seated again. And we'll comfortably cross our legs, right? Fan out your base underneath you so you feel steady to be more centered, right? And from center, we start to grow taller, right? Aligning the spine from root to crown, right? Root down to rise up. And once we've kind of inchwormed into our tallest body, let's twist to the right. And the twist happens mostly through your rib cage, right? Through thoracic space. Feel free to look back over your right shoulder. Notice when you look back over your right shoulder, did your left shoulder climb up on you? Let's be mindful and tame the left shoulder as we take our tall twist. And let's change sides. Let's take our twist to the left. Notice the right shoulder, did it climb? Soften that space. And let's take another round. Literally revolve to the right for another round of our twisting pose. And to the left. Another revolution, please. And as we face forward again, I'd love to invite you to take another downward facing dog, just to check in with your body, right? I think it's number 4, so it should feel different than the first one for sure. So let's plant our front paws downward and forward. You're really gaining the traction you need to hold yourself here. 10 toes curl under. Balance, bend knees softly to lengthen your spine. And here's your yoga challenge. 5 deep breaths in down dog, please. Filling 360 degrees of your belly, ribs, and chest. Remember, you can use that sigh upon your exhalation to help you drain some of your tension. Beautiful. Now, child's pose. One more. Give yourself a little room between the knees to breathe, right? You don't want the lap space to cut off your breath. You want it to accommodate your breathing. Enjoy, right? Breathe deep. All right, my friends, have a seat. And I will ask you to, I'm gonna go ahead and, sorry, turning my back to you, but lying back. And now maybe you can see my face. Shoulders roll back. So you're standing back through your shoulders. Lifting your pelvis and your middle. Planting even footprints. Making sure that your chin is drawn to your chest as you press back thoroughly through shoulders and arm backs. We're building our bridge pose. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And it really does take a few breaths, or more than a few breaths, really, to be perfectly honest, for the bridge pose to really bloom throughout your body. Okay, one more big deep breath. And we'll bring the bridge down to the ground, right? Our bottom settles. And right leg. Give a little hug to the shin bone or the back of the hamstring. Either one, what's more comfortable for you. Right, our knee to chest pose. And we change sides. Let's get our left leg now. Get our comfy hug to left leg. Make sure that chin is still being drawn towards the chest so that you're resting on the base of the skull, right? That spot is plugged into ground. All right, let's change sides. Let's go back for our right knee to chest pose. And release right leg and gather in your left knee to chest. Last one. All right, we did butterfly earlier, so your soles of your feet come together. I'm gonna let those butterfly wings recline on the ground. Body is reclining and resting in our reclining bound angle pose. Notice that as you press your soles of feet gently together, you begin to generate a stretch across your inner groins and thighs. But also start to feel that expansion across your chest and shoulders, and even your arms. Expand your arms out. And then take in your breaths deeply, friends, and let your breath expand throughout your body completely. And now we shall gather everything and bring your knees together, knees to chest, hands, arms hugging knees into chest. And then feel free to give yourself, notice how I have a little rock happening. If that feels good, go with it. And let's let our legs, let's let them feather slowly to the ground, to the right side. Arms still expanding across the ground. Notice when your legs become heavy on the right side of the mat. Did the left shoulder peel up? Let's try to soften our left shoulder back to the ground and expand across arms and chest as we breathe deeply. And now let's go ahead and change sides, right? Mindfully lifting legs and shifting our twist to the left. And then again, notice, did your right shoulder try to peel up from the ground? Let's lie it back down as we expand across chest, shoulders, and arms. And may we come back to center again. One more bridge pose, right? Feet down, shoulders plant down. Breathing into 360 degrees of our belly, ribs, and chest. And then release and let your bridge dissolve back to the ground. All right, now just roll your body over. So you're on your elbows and belly, right? Your thighs feel heavy. Your heart and face are rising upward as the elbows press downward. We're in our Sphinx pose in the moment. From here, just let your head softly, without force, drip down. Noticing what's happening, noticing any tension in the jaw, neck, and shoulder space. Let it go. And look forward again, right? Sphinx pose. From here, coming down to the soft side. It's called resting crocodile. You rest your arms and then your forehead rests on your stacked arms or hands. Your elbows feel as if they're resting evenly heavy. And that really is our feeling here in resting crocodile, that sense of evenness, of really surrendering to relaxation, letting go of your tension. Let it melt. You're still in the resting crocodile pose, everyone, and I'm going to ask you to do this, be here, be present for 5 more very deeply filling breaths. And after the 5th breath has been fulfilled, then lie on your back again. Right? And instead of keeping your legs very close together, allow them to expand apart a bit, right? Wider than your hips, even wider than the edges of the yoga mat. Allow, please, again, for your arms to expand, like wings expanding across the ground. When I lie in this position, I can't help but the visual of, if you like art, of Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, expanded, right? And I love it because there's lines and, you know, vectors of movement implied within that piece of artwork. It's pretty cool. So may you, again, expand, melt, relax. Let your next exhale go from your body. Let it go with an exhale, with a sigh of relief, of release. And then when you're ready, you know, you don't have to rush up right now. Just take it slow. Be mindful, right? Just create little maneuvers through your body. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, roll your ankles, shift around through your hips and ribs and shoulders, right? Awakening. And then continuing to make the movements that raise you back up to the surface again, to seated, comfortably cross-legged and tall, right? Centered. And let's close our practice this evening by just placing our hands gently over our hearts. Just bowing inward for a moment. These candlelight yoga practices are straight from my heart and home to yours. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you had a few moments in there